Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Marvel Contest of Champions. So a lot of my newer players in my alliance have been asking me a lot of supplemental questions on top of things that I didn't cover. So the first thing is ISO. Where do we get ISO from? How can we farm it? Where is it going to be? And there's definitely some great options in Act 3. There's some great options especially in Act 4. However, a lot of these players aren't there. And this is for players that are, between probably a level 10 to level 30. Maybe level 20 to 30, maybe starting Act 3. Because at Act 2, the very end boss is a king, and that's 2,300. And so many people are getting their 4 stars easily up to that range. So this is the final stage of Act 2. And this is probably one of the best places you can go and farm ISO for the energy cost. The first thing you want to take a look at is you want to take a physical look at the ISO itself. Like we have some ISO there, and we have some ISO there, and we have some ISO here. So to start off, this one right here is 75. This one right here is 525. And then this one right here is 125. Then you also want to look at the boxes, the crates. 1, 2, and 3 star. The 1 star is going to be 75. The 2 star is going to be 125. And the 3 star is going to be 525. So you want to look for the biggest chunks of ISO, the most crates for the least amount of energy. This map only takes 1 point of energy to move. And so the first thing I'm seeing here is there's one, there's one, there's only 2 there. Then we have a 1 and a 3 up here. That's not such a great path. There's a 1 here, a 1 there. That's not a very good path. Probably the best path I'm seeing is the 3, 3, 3. Plus the 1 is on that path as well. So let's go down that path and just take a look. Also at the same time, it's going to allow me to talk about buffs and debuffs, the symbols that you basically see. And I'm going to go into a lot of these battles. I'm not even going to fight. I'm just going to try to wait for these things to proc on the battlefield. So this right here is an armor buff. So Angela has procced an armor buff. It is permanent because it is not timing down. Now she has a fury buff. That's what that means. That fury buff is not timing down. The way she works is when she fills a bar of energy, that armor turns to fury. Alright, now she's gone back down. You see how that works. When she takes damage, she gets a regeneration buff. That times down. She goes below a bar of energy, it goes back to armor. She goes above. Now it went above 2 bars, so that is a critical buff. And we're going to end the fight here. Perfect. So those are known as the buffs. And those are the things you're going to want to pay very close attention to, especially once you start to evolve into the end game of your game. Because you're going to be able to play to those. Oh, dang it. You know what? I'm actually going to back out of this because I need a mystic to go down that path. This is basically a mystic gate. It won't let me pass without a mystic champion in my party. So let's go back to 2, 4, 6, and let's put magic on the team. And that's nice. It does tell you what the gate types are going to be. And let's make sure I don't need anything else. Nope, I'm not going down that path. Alright, perfect. Now, if this vision was duped, he would have a synthesis ability where he can synthesize energy. We'll just have Angela take him out really fast. And so he has a weakness debuff on him. That's what that is right up there. That's part of my mastery setup. My masteries are set up to proc a debuff on the opponent, and I do that for very specific champions. I don't necessarily need it for Angela, but for other champions it does work. So let's do magic. So magic, once she fills any bar of energy, she has, when she's duped, she has the potential, I better not do that. She has the potential of, and see, you see that limbo, and it's causing him damage because her limbo ability allows her to damage the opponent over time, and she can rewind any damage done during that limbo. We're done with him. Also, I want to talk about the damage, the numbers you see when you do damage to the opponent, and what that means. Let's see. Let's do this one. Because Stark Enhanced Spider-Man has a different setup. So you see his AI is online. That's what that means when it's in blue. And he has the ability to auto evade special attacks as long as his AI is online. And then he does have a poise charge, and a poise charge enhances his offensive ability every time he avoids an attack. And you can stack those up. And that's a shock debuff that I put on Iron Man. And some buffs are permanent through the battle and some time out. You'll become very familiar with debuffs and buffs throughout the game. It is going to be very important, like I said, to watch that. For instance, if you're using Guillotine and you want to reverse Wolverine's healing, you have to watch for when he's healing in order to do it. If you do it before, it will do nothing. Let's do Darkhawk. He's bleed immune. But let's take a look at the damage. Alright, so you see white and yellow. So when it's white, it's just regular damage. When it's yellow, that is critical damage. That's why it's getting boosted so much. There are some champions who can crit through a block. It'll remain white, but it's causing enhanced damage because of the critical. And that's a stun debuff on Black Panther there. These come into play a lot when you are using Archangel. Archangel, you have to manage the bleed and poison debuffs in order to turn them into neurotoxins. Let's see. Let's go with Red Hulk. Red Hulk is very big on buffs because you want to increase his heat damage. Every 10% life he loses, he gains a heat damage charge, which increases his physical attack. Also, when he does a special one, he gains 2. Now you'll see the red damage that came up with the yellow damage. The red damage was my heat charge damage, and the yellow was my critical attack. I love Red Hulk. I think the changes they made to him were amazing. And he doesn't even need to be duped. So you saw that armor piercing for Winter Soldier, and that's his fighting form that he's in right now. Winter Soldier can change modes. We're getting a lot of surprises here. So a lot of the times it will tell you what that buff is when it procs. And Drax just got a Fury buff. Drax is actually pretty fun. He does a Fury buff and he does a Bleed debuff. He enhances his damage while you're taking, you're losing life over time. I'm not sure why I got an achievement for that. Oh, that's crazy. I probably thought I just cleared Act 2. All right, so that just kind of shows you that's crazy that it didn't credit me the ISO. That must have changed. So that is definitely a path you can do if you can't get to Act 2, Chapter 4, 6. Then you can definitely repeat any paths that you see a good amount of ISO on for a limited amount of energy spent. You can definitely go to the monthly quest. Those are also very good for going through. But honestly, the best way for getting ISO, it might be a little bit difficult for wherever you are right now, but it's duplicating champions. Reason number one why you never sell a champion is because every time you duplicate them, you awaken their ability, you improve their ability, the signature level goes up, and then you also earn ISO for that. So that's definitely something you're going to want to focus on. The next thing I want to talk about is masteries. I've been looking at new player masteries, and this is incredibly common. It's incredibly common for everyone in the beginning to have super messed up masteries. And I'm going to show you a couple that are incredibly important. If you do not do these masteries or have these set up in your masteries, you will not really experience the game for how it was designed. The first one is parry. This one right here. Basically allows you to stun the opponent the moment they hit you if you block. If you block the moment they are about to hit you, you will stun the opponent. For me, it's about 2 seconds. Maybe a little bit long because I have other masteries that will buff that up. Giving you the opportunity to not take any hits during the fight if your parry is on par. The other one, super important, is dexterity. This one right here. And dexterity allows you to evade attacks. So if Cyclops shoots an optic blast, there's a way for you to evade it so the beam passes right through you. A lot of different abilities allow you to use dexterity to evade it and not take the block hit. Because for those of you who have been playing Alliance Quest and Alliance Wars, you'll come to find out that you can block a hit, but you take so much block damage. So much incredible block damage over time. So you really want to evade the hit. And you kind of want to become an expert at being able to evade those beams. There are some attacks that are incredibly hard to evade. And some that are unevadable. Like War Machine's special one, his machine gun. I've never been able to evade that. But the majority of specials out there you can evade. And most of them you can evade pretty easily. So this one and this one, definitely do those first. The other mistake I see very often is I see these get filled up. Notice they have 1 point for me. I don't need anything else because there are so many better masteries to do. More often than not, I see this one and this one max to 5. They are worthless. There is a reason they are called lesser precision and lesser cruelty, because they are less. They are not nearly as great as cruelty and precision. The problem is they're super expensive to unlock. So if you are spending your units on crystals, stop that. Stop doing that right now. Focus on your mastery setups, because what's going to happen in order for you to unlock those 2 masteries is you're going to need these cores. You won't really need this one right away. You will definitely need this one and a lot of them. I believe Cruelty and Cruelty and Precision are both 5 cores each. So that's 10 cores, so that's 1,350 units you're going to need. It's definitely going to take some time. So you can use some filler on the mastery setup. But just know that if you put, 5 here, and then you're ready to go over here, and you got to use those points, you got to recover and reset everything. And after a while, it will cost you to recover your mastery points. So just keep that in mind. The other big one is gold. How do I get gold? Gold is one of those things that is incredibly difficult to get a lot of. And that goes for every single player. I had a teammate today tell me he spent 70,000 gold. And I didn't want to tell him, but I was like, well, I just spent 700,000 gold ranking up a champion. You're definitely going to constantly run low on gold unless you do one thing and do it all the time. Fight in the arenas. If you lose every match, it doesn't matter. As long as you're fighting in the arenas, earning points, maxing out your champions until they all need to be refreshed, waiting for your help requests to be answered, but go into the arenas. Even if you go into this 2 and 3 star, the amount of gold you earn in the first 3, that's 17,500 gold. And then you get the battle chips, which you can get for gold, and you get the units that you're going to need for your masteries, and you're going to get the PHC shards that you're going to need to duplicate champions to get ISO and to get more champions. It's a win-win. On top of that, the solo events are almost always going to be focused around arenas. It'll be a champion use, it'll be an arena battle like this one is going on, and a lot of the times there'll be alliance events that will correspond over to what you're doing. The arenas is the best place to go and get your gold. It's pretty much the only place. They will do some like gold events every now and then, but they won't do nearly enough of them. And you will get severely held back by gold if you do not grind arenas. And unfortunately, that is just the truth of the matter. You will get gold from Alliance Quest, you will get gold from the story quests and the monthly events, you will get gold from Alliance Wars, but nothing nearly enough to what you need. The only place to get more than what you need is from arenas. And that is the best advice I can give you. And we all hate it. We all hate the arena, but it is something that needs to be done. For me personally, I want a 4-star thing right now, so I've been grinding the arena. And I use the arena as getting a champ I want, getting a 4-star I want. If I don't want the champion, I'll go up to 1.5 million and I'll stop. I'll max out the milestones and I'll stop. I might go to the 3-star, I might go to the 5-star arena. Kind of do the same thing. Because I'm just trying to get battle chips, I'm trying to get PHC shards, and I'm trying to get gold. Because you will get in a gold deficit so incredibly quick. Other than that, people were talking about selling. You can definitely, I get basic, tier 2 basics, tier 1 basics, tier 3 basics all the time. And if they're about to expire, I'll definitely sell them. If they're not going to expire, I'll keep them in my inventory until I use them, or when they're about to expire, I just sell them. Like, I just opened a ton of crystals and got a whole bunch of things. A whole bunch of potions, revives, dual tokens, and I'm probably going to burn through them for the item use event. Somehow, some way. And that's just going to be me. I will just, go ahead and use those up. But these are the things that I think are most important. What you really want to focus on in the beginning is the way of getting PHC shards, as many as possible. A lot of that is solo events, a lot of that is the individual events, the story quests, the event quests, the monthly quests, the arenas. They all kind of come full circle. So that is definitely going to be my advice out there. When it comes to Alliance Wars and Alliance Quests, that is definitely going to be something that I will be talking with my Alliance in the future, because those will start to change for us. Many of you know who is watching this video. There's a certain evolution in Alliance Wars. We are just building up, so of course our Alliance Wars are so incredibly easy. If you are struggling, definitely work on your champions, because it is definitely only going to get harder from here. But other than that, definitely leave any comments or questions you have down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.